how come, that it get to this level that Africa cannot even take care of himself? The black man cannot even be able to define the next level about his future. Why the white men, the Western world are talking about, going to the moon, exploiting the moon. And still, African continent, 21st century, cannot even boast of how to feed themselves, irrespective of how things has transformed to be, how knowledge has come to be, how technology has improved. A black man is talking about hunger. Something must be wrong with Africa. Something must be wrong with African leaders. Something deep is wrong in their mentality and reasoning. And look at what happened recently, even in Ojota yesterday, where we have protesters and anti-protesters clashing. Why are they clashing? What are they benefiting from this government? Not only this government, from even previous government. Has Nigeria been able to solve a problem of one sector alone? Electricity, zero. Transportation, zero. Maritime, zero. Employment, zero. Everything about Nigeria is just zero. The politicians are only struggling for the survival of corruption in Nigeria. That's what they know how best to do. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you for having us on this platform. We're talking about a Suma Studio, where we'll come out to give you highlights of happenings around the week, especially in West Africa, Nigeria, where we are reporting from the Center of Excellence, where we look at issues, as it stands now, especially the ongoing strike, not protest. Let me just say protest. What I mean by protest, where Nigerians are asking the federal government to renew some of the policies that have endangered the Nigerian economy to an extent. Even though this morning, as early as 7 a.m., the president himself came out and gave a speech. A lot of people say that one, I don't think they digested it very well, or they are yet to feast on it. Where the president came out and highlighted a lot of things, saying without reservation that he is not going to remove subsidy, and subsidy is one of the things the protesters are asking the federal government to reverse with immediate effect, without any further consultation or any further statement on that regard. Subsidy first should be reversed, and based on that and other things, the protesters has come out to say, the organizers of the protest have come out to say, the federal government have not met their requirement in that speech by the president this morning. And what does that left a lot of people, trying to look at what is next, for Tinubu, Bola Ahmed-led administration, since the organizers of the protest has come out to say, their speech was without any directive or aim to cushion the effect. That means the president actually did not meet the requirement of those protesters, and we're looking at the protest might likely continue on Monday, that's tomorrow, or it will be postponed, like they said, anything from October 1st, having given federal government time, to revisit some of those damaging policies they have been able to come up with, that has not been able to transform the economy at large, put Nigeria, put smile on the Nigerian faces. What Nigerians want is, how will the federal government put food on their table? How the federal government is going to do that? It's not their business, and that is the reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu is still there as the president. And today we are going to be watching what development is going to come out of that at the end of the day. But away from that, the president also mentioned the issue of the Igbo must go in Lagos State. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, all the Yoruba elites and forum and organizations have come out to distance themselves from that statement or hashtag, making around everywhere. For me, I don't think that is a fanatic statement, and the Yoruba leaders have come to condemn it, including the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, took a bold step and made it very clearly, and we have seen the president, towing the same line that Nigeria does not need such a statement at this point in time, meaning that every Nigerian have every right to stay and to live where they found their means at the end of the day. What do I mean by the means? Where they can be able to, add value to themselves economically and otherwise. Of course, take care of themselves and the family, and even friends and extended family at the end of the day. So what it means that Nigeria have every right to stay wherever they are. But that's the Mr. President. Atiku Abubakar also said that, and P2B also added their voice. And we have seen the Afenifere leaders, are coming to take a position also, or trying to support what the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu said in that regard. Anyway, that notwithstanding, we are trying to also give you an insight of what happened a few days ago, where the organizers of the protest, of course, the hashtag End Bad Government protest was actually going on, where we have the organizer that said we are going to protest the issue of hunger, and it started officially on the 1st of August, and today, apart from today, which was a kind of a free day, that will allow the president to actually make a speech. And that speech from the president, the result of it is what's going to look ahead on Monday, depending what they are going to decide, whether to give the federal government till October, like they said, or to continue the protest as agreed or being scheduled to take place for complete 10 days. But away from that, let me use this opportunity to celebrate this studio, because we are here not just because of you, because of the black man, not only because of Nigeria, but because of Africa. We need to see how we can be talking to ourselves, commenting and trying to pass a certain information or communicate on daily basis on how to transform Africa. We do not expect the white man to come from Europe and begin to transform Africa. The black man is qualified enough to do that. And that's what we are talking about. Forget the ethnic sentiment. And Nigeria has always been the focus of that transformation in Africa. Yes, that's what they said. They said Nigeria is the giant of Africa. And the need for Nigeria to begin to set example as a role model to other African nations on how to navigate, on how to move from bad leadership to good leadership. Talking about the bad nature and the good nature. We know we have the bad nature and we have the good nature. Currently now, Nigeria is enjoying bad nature, and we need to move from bad nature to good nature. How do we do that? We begin to talk to ourselves. Let us forget about ethnic bigotry. Let us forget about tribalism, nepotism in the system, which has been, systematically championed by the leaders, politicians themselves, so that we can struggle on that alone while they are, filling their pocket with corruption, looting funds, and that was meant for the transformation of the people, to their own private pocket. Why we say, this is Yoruba, this is Igbo, this is Hausa. No, I don't think we actually need that. We are talking about the unionism of the black man in consciousness, unionism of the black man in spirit, unionic of the black man in knowledge, unionic of the black man in transformation. That is what we are talking about. You understand? We need to continue to lift ourselves and begin to direct our prospect towards how we are going to move from where we find ourselves. How come that the black man is not innovative? How come the black man is not growing in the African continent? How come in the whole of the continent we have only bad leadership in Africa? How come? And that's what we are talking about today. The same spirit we are seeing in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, where people are, this kind of a thing are beginning to, expand, are beginning to move, are beginning to be understood, as the consciousness of every African man at this point in time. There's a very need for us to do away with these old men, who are continuing to preach nepotism, tribalism in disguise, and know how we are going to sit down as youths and be able to champion our cause at the end of the day. And that's what we do on this studio. This is not a studio for ethnic bigotry or whatever. This where we want to talk to our fellow black men one on one. Let's leave religion aside. How can a black man transform from where he is now to the next level? And of course, that is the need where we are having the millennia, and the rest of them. Today we are talking about the Gen Zs, the generation, and the Gen Zs, is the people who have awakened the consciousness of Africa. Where do we move from here? Do we continue to watch these old men, continue to, talk, damble or rubbish our collective effort? They are not more intelligent than us. Don't forget that privilege has given them that position where they are occupying today, and in a position of leadership. We need to understand that Africa needs to move forward, and by the time we begin to question some of those things they throw at us, then the more our youth begin to gain that national consciousness, of transformation. And look at what happened recently, even in Ojota yesterday, where we have protesters and anti-protesters clashing. Why are they clashing? What are they benefiting from this government? Not only this government, from even previous government. Has Nigeria been able to solve a problem of one sector alone? Electricity, zero. Transportation, zero. Maritime, zero. Employment, zero. Everything about Nigeria is just zero. The politicians are only struggling for the survival of corruption in Nigeria. That's what they know how best to do. And I think it is high time, we keep on giving them close backing at this point in time. If they refuse to do that, then we'll look at other alternatives we are going to use, because we cannot continue like this, until we get into the next generation. It will be bad. And we'll ask questions. How come, that it get to this level that Africa cannot even take care of himself? The black man cannot even be able to define the next level about his future. Why the white men, the Western world are talking about, going to the moon, exploiting the moon. And still, African continent, 21st century, cannot even boast of how to feed themselves, irrespective of how things has transformed to be, how knowledge has come to be, how technology has improved. A black man is talking about hunger. Something must be wrong with Africa. Something must be wrong with African leaders. Something deep is wrong in their mentality and reasoning. And we don't need to sit down and say, now Yoruba dey there, now Igbo dey there, now Hausa dey there. That is absolutely not acceptable at this point in time. I want a collective unionism. I want a collective unionism of purpose to transform the black man consciousness. Look at what the likes of Fela did. Look at what Bob Marley. Emancipation first of the mental slavery. Bro, it's not everything that is being sold to you that by the white man that you put into your brain. A black man should sit down and think what is best for a black man and what is best for Africa. Unfortunately, Nigeria is lacking in that regard, where we have enough human capital and enough capacity to serve as a role model to other African countries. But unfortunately, we will not be able to do that. And until we come your way next time. But anyway, the development so far is that the protest is going on as planned until they do otherwise, until the presidency or the president do otherwise, until the federal government do otherwise on that note. And if they fail to do, then I am telling you, there will be no space again. Nigerian youths have risen and they need to listen to us at this point in time. This is Sumo Studio, where we come to give you the insight of happenings around the world. I don't want to talk about the Ohaneze issue and between Ohaneze and of course Simon Ekpa in that regard, and who is going to a lot of people are asking who is in charge. Everybody is in charge. IPOB is in charge. Biafrans are also in charge. Thank you for watching and God bless you.